Brother, know the real truth today. We're going to talk about a mistake almost all men make. A mistake that makes them lose in love, in relationships, and even in their own self-respect over and over again. This mistake is chasing. Girls. Yes, you might be thinking, brother, then how will we find love? Don't get me wrong. Today's video isn't just about identifying this mistake, but about showing you how to become someone that women pursue instead. This isn't some alpha male fluff. This is real psychology, practical step-by-step strategies that actually work. So let's get into the real game right now. Step 1, stop trying to prove your worth, brother. Read this carefully. The more you try to prove your worth to her, the more you say things like, I'd do anything for you. I'll always be here. I just want to make you happy. The more you're actually saying, I don't believe I'm enough on my own, and she feels it. She may not articulate it. She may even appreciate your effort at first. But deep down, she senses the imbalance. You're not walking beside her. You're beneath her, seeking approval. And that energy? It kills attraction. You become the emotional doormat, the guy who's always there but never chosen. The one she calls when she's lonely, but not the one she craves when her heart stirs. Why? Because women are drawn to men who own their value, not men who try to sell it. You don't need to prove yourself to be loved. You need to believe you're worth loving without proving. Let go of the performance. Let go of the chase. Let go of trying to be her everything. Instead, be the man who moves with purpose. Be the man who values his time, his energy, his peace. Be the man who says, I choose you, but I don't need you to validate me. That's real confidence, quiet, strong, unshakable. And when you carry that, she notices. Not because you're trying hard, but because you're not trying at all. You're just being rooted, certain, unapologetically, whole. Remember this, attraction doesn't come from begging to be seen. It comes from becoming someone who can't be ignored. So stop proving, start standing. Because your worth isn't something to convince her of. It's something to remember for yourself. Step 2, become scarce, conquer without being. Present all the time, brother. Let's dismantle a myth that's destroying modern masculinity. To win her heart, always be available. So you text constantly, you reply instantly, you answer her calls at midnight, cancel your plans when she's sad, and pause your life for hers. You think that will earn her love, but here's the truth. It earns her comfort, not desire. You become familiar, predictable, safe, and safe doesn't spark obsession. Safe doesn't create attraction. Safe becomes boring. Why? Because people don't value what they can always reach. They value what's rare, what has boundaries, what demands respect before attention. That's why a man who is present but not always available has more power than the one who never leaves her side. You don't have to disappear. But you do need to stop orbiting her. So what should you do? Build a life where your time is a currency, not a charity. Fill your days with discipline, not distractions. Pursue your purpose like it's your first love. Create distance that speaks for itself. I have things to build. But if I'm choosing to see you, it's not out of need. It's out of intention. Scarcity doesn't mean being rude. It means being valuable. You're not a doormat. You're not an emotional butler. You're a man of presence, not someone who gives it away without thought. Because when she sees that your time isn't cheap, she pays attention. She respects the invitation. She understands. If he's making space for me, it means something. And that's when her interest turns to pursuit. So stop overwhelming her with access. Pull back with purpose. Not to manipulate, but to remind both of you, you're a man with a mission. And if she wants to walk with you, she have to meet you at your level, not distract you from it. Step 3, women test weakness, not strength. You ever wonder why she suddenly picks a fight out of nowhere? Why she says something sharp, sarcastic, even hurtful, just to see your reaction? It's not random. It's a test, not because she wants drama, but because she's trying to feel something. Your strength, your emotional gravity, your ability to hold your frame, because whether she knows it or not, women don't test strength. They test for weakness. It's not about the words she says. It's about the energy you respond with if you crumble, if you explain yourself 100 times. If you beg for understanding or get defensive, you fail the test. Why? Because now she knows you're easily shaken. You're emotionally reactive. You're not grounded. And no woman wants to build a life next to a man who collapses when challenged. What does a strong man do? He doesn't flinch. He stays calm. He understands this isn't about logic, it's about energy. He holds his ground without trying to win approval. That's what makes her feel safe. Not that you agree with everything. Not that you never argue. But that your emotions don't get hijacked every time the mood shifts. Women push to see if you'll fold. If you don't, they relax. Because they feel, on a deep level, I'm with someone I can trust, not someone I have to lead. So, next time she throws a test your way, pause, don't react. Don't match her emotional spike, respond with presence, with stability, with quiet confidence, because every test is really a question. Are you strong enough to lead, or will I have to? And when you answer with strength, not words, you don't just pass the test, you earn her respect. And from that respect, real connection grows. Step 4, silence isn't ignoring, it's control. Let's flip the script. Brother, you've been taught that silence means weakness, that if you don't reply fast, if you don't text first, if you disappear for a while, she'd lose interest, but that's a lie. Women don't crave constant attention, they crave emotional impact. And few things impact a woman's emotions more than your silence, not because you're playing games, but because silence creates space, and space makes her wonder, where is he? Why hasn't he replied yet? Is he pulling away or leveling up? That uncertainty triggers curiosity, and curiosity fuels attraction. See, when you stop flooding her phone, when you don't chase, when your energy retreats a little, you stop being predictable. You start becoming valuable because she no longer owns your attention. Now she has to earn it, and that changes everything. But here's the key. This isn't about punishing her. It's about regaining your center. Silence isn't rejection. It's emotional discipline. When you wait before responding, when you don't jump at every notification, you're saying, I'm not desperate, I'm focused, I move with intention. That's powerful. That's magnetic, because women don't respect the man who's always available. They respect the man who's in control of his energy. So use silence wisely. Let her miss your presence. Let her feel the void. Let your absence do what your words never could. And when you do show up again, she notice, she lean in. She value the moment, because now you're not just another guy on her screen, you're a man with mystery, with movement, with magnetism. So remember, silence isn't ignoring her. It's reminding her what she risks losing. Step 5, give her an emotional roller coaster. That's what sparks attraction, brother. Here's a truth most men miss. Women aren't drawn to comfort, they're drawn to movement. Not physical movement, emotional movement. They don't fall for the man who's always nice, always agreeable, always available. They fall for the man who makes them feel . It's not about being toxic. It's about being dynamic. Think about it. If you're always sweet, always soft, always giving her what she wants, you become predictable. Predictable becomes boring. And boring kills attraction. What keeps her invested isn't consistency alone, it's contrast. Moments that surprise her, challenge her, pull her in emotionally. Here's how you do it. Disagree sometimes, but playfully. Let her know you have a spine, that you won't just nod to keep her happy. Tease her, not to hurt, but to create spark. Flirting isn't always complimenting. Sometimes it's provoking in a fun way. Delay your responses, not out of ego, but out of priority. She should feel that your time is earned, not automatic. Say no when it's the right call. A man who can't say no is a man without boundaries. Now here's the key. When you do show affection, when you do get vulnerable, when you do open up, it lands 10 times harder. Why? Because it's not constant, it's not expected. It's a reward, and women crave emotional rewards. You're not building a roller coaster to manipulate. You're creating emotional gravity. Too many men fear rocking the boat. But calm waters never made anyone fall in love. It's the tension, the suspense, the unexpected moments that leave her thinking, what is it about him that I can't let go? So, don't be afraid to rattle her comfort. Be the man who surprises her, who makes her laugh, think, feel, wonder, all in one conversation, because that man, that's the one she remembers. That's the one she obsesses over. Conclusion. Brother, love isn't a race, it's a game of psychology. Instead of chasing, you become someone worth pursuing. Believe in your own value. Limit your availability. Stay composed under pressure. Embrace silence. And learn the art of the emotional roller coaster. When you do this, women will chase you instead of you chasing them. If you want more deep strategies, real-world examples, and A to Z dating mastery, you can find it in my exclusive online course.